Hi guys, it's Megan here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to do an arms and abs mat Pilates workout. No equipment needed, just you and your mat. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start on all fours. You want to be on your hands and knees. Before we get started, you want to make sure your hands right under your shoulder and your knees are right under your hips and your legs are about hip distance apart. So really lengthen through that spine. You don't want to be crunched in. From here, we're just going to do a few cat stretches. So we're just going to flex the spine, lifting up through the hips, dropping the head, getting that nice flexion of the spine. And then exhale as you come back to neutral. So let's just do a couple of those. Inhale as you flex that spine, lifting up through the core, navel to spine, and then exhale back to neutral. One more time, inhale, flexing that spine. Push through those hands, and then exhale, back to neutral. Perfect. From here, we're just going to do some leg extensions with our knees down for now. So let's go ahead and put our weight into both hands. Try to keep your weight center as you reach your right leg back, pointing the toes, lifting the leg up at hip level, and then bringing that right back under your hip, and we're just going to switch legs. So take your time here. You want to try to keep steady in the pelvis. We're not rocking back and forth. We're just lowering and lifting our legs up at hip level, squeezing the glutes, controlling it in the core. Really think about lifting and bringing that navel towards your spine. And let's go for 2. And last one. Good. We're going to add on to this. So go ahead and tuck your toes under. Make sure your knees are hip distance apart. And now we're just going to go into a knee hovering plank. So press through your hands and just hover your knees up off the mat. Make sure you have that nice flat back. And then from here, we're just going to step one leg back and then back under our hips. So we're pretty much doing the same thing that we were doing before, but we're just adding the knee hovers. Same thing here, warming up the core. Really strong core here. Slight bend in those elbows. I'm guilty of that too. Don't hyperextend those elbows. If this is too much for the hands, you can keep the knees down. For 3, for 2, and 1. Back to center. Keep the knees hover. We're going to add. So now we're going to reach that leg up, bring it in towards chest, out, and back down. So out, reach it in towards your chest, extend it back out, and then back down. So we're just adding some leg lifts. And we're just really challenging our stability and our core. Let's go for 3. Breathe. 2. And last one. Good. From here, guys, let's go ahead and walk our legs all the way out to a full plank. So now we're in a full plank. From here, we're going to pivot onto the balls of our feet, come into a side plank, into a star. Good. Make sure your hand's right under your shoulder. Bring your right hand behind your head, and we're going to do some hip dips. So drop the hips all the way down, and then really think about lifting through that left side. Use your breath. Good. For 2. And 1. Good. Stay there in that side plank. Hand comes towards your weight, hand on your hip now. And now we're just going to bend our knees and back to that side plank. So bend and press. Really lifting up on this left oblique for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, both hands down. We're going to take it to that other side right away. So we're going to pivot on the balls of our feet towards the left side into that star. Make sure your hand's right under your shoulder, placing our left hand behind our head now. And now we're going to go into those hip dips, bringing our hip all the way down towards our mat, and then really lifting up on this right side now. Like a rainbow for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand on your hip. Now bending the knees and pressing. Still lifting up on this right side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rotate back to that plank. Square your shoulders and hands off. Drop your knees, and let's come into a child's pose. And come on up. Good. So we're still going to stay on all fours here. So let's get back to on fours. And we're going to do a push-up variation. So hands are flat. Make sure all 10 fingers are out. And you want to put your weight in the whole hand, not just your wrist. Make sure your hips are about, your knees are about hip distance apart again. And from here, you'll see that my hips and knees are in line. I'm going to shift my weight over. So you'll see flat back, and I'm just shifting my weight over my knees. And from here, I'm going to keep my elbows narrow for this first variation. So I'm going to hit those triceps. So my elbows are going to come almost straight back, close towards my rib cage. So when you're ready, go ahead, bend the elbows and up. So really feel this in the triceps. Doesn't have to be big, but you're putting the weight in the whole hand, and you're just bending at the elbow and lifting. So bend and extend the elbows. Feel the triceps fire up. Good. Really strong core here. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it off, take your time. And we're going to do another set, but now we're going to target more into the chest here. And it's just by the way we move our elbows. So same thing, shifting my weight over my hips. And now my elbows are going to come out more towards the sides. They're not going to come straight back. So I'm going to allow them to fall towards the sides of the room, and that will target our chest and our pecs. So when you're ready, position yourself where you're comfortable. And now let's go back into that push-up position and bending the elbows towards the sides of the room, hitting the chest and pecs. Good. Take your time. Keep breathing. Engage that core for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and sit back into child's pose. So you really want to allow your knees to open so your body can come in between them. And reaching your arms long. Good. Let's come on up now. So now we're going to switch. We're going to come onto our bottoms. And we're going to keep our feet flat in front of us. And now we're going to go into a reverse plank. So a lot of exercises on our hands and wrists. We'll give them a little bit of a break after this set. So when you're ready, let's sit on our bottom, sitting tall on our sit bones. Feet are flat. We're going to place our hands behind us. But now you want your fingers, you want your fingers long facing towards your feet. You don't want them behind you or towards the side. So have your fingers behind you. Let me restate that. You want your fingers facing towards your feet. You don't want your fingers facing that wall behind you or towards the sides of the room. So there we go. You want your hands behind you, and you want your fingers facing towards your feet. Good. From here, we're just going to go into a nice little plank variation. So we're going to lift through the arms and then lift through the waist. So when you're ready, go ahead, extend those arms, lifting the bottom off of the mat. So now you lifted up your hips And now we're just gonna lift those hips up to ceiling. And now I'm gonna drop my hips first, and then bend the elbows, bringing us down. So it's a two-part exercise here. So elbows are slightly bent. I'm going to extend the elbows, lifting my hips off the mat. And now that my elbows are extended, now I'm going to lift my hips up towards the ceiling, opening up the chest, and then dropping my hips first, and then bending the elbows. So now that you got this exercise, let's go ahead and try this. So extend the elbows, lifting the hips. Now lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, really opening up that chest. Press through those feet and hands, dropping the hips, and then bending the elbows. Good, let's do this 2 more times and then we'll add on. Extend the elbows, and then lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Drop the hips, and then bend the elbows. Last time here. Extend the elbows, lifting the hips. Pressing through those hands and feet, opening that chest to lift my hips up towards that ceiling. And then dropping the hips and the elbows. Good. From here, now we're just going to really focus on just hitting those triceps. So, let's go ahead, extend those elbows, lifting those hips. But we're not going to go into a full bridge. We're just going to keep those hips lifted, hovering off of the mat. From here, we're just going to bend the elbows and extend. Try to keep the elbows narrow towards your body. And really feel those triceps fire up and bring that bottom all the way to the mat and lift. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Shake it off. We're not done here. We're just going to keep adding on to this. Good. So if this is too much for you and you're just really feeling this in the wrist, don't lift the hips too high. You can actually just keep them down and lift. Lower, bend in the elbows and extend if it's too much on the wrist. But if you're with me, let's go ahead, extend those elbows, hovering our waist off, hips off the mat, and let's cross our right foot over our left. And we're just going to add a single leg here. So what we're doing, just challenging our balance, but doing the same thing with the arms, making it a little bit harder. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet down, and let's just take it right to that other side, crossing our left leg over our right into 4 position and bending and extending our elbows. For 5, try to pull your shoulders out of your ears. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet down and bring your bottom down. Good job, guys. So let's go ahead and give our wrists a little bit of a break here. Great. So now, let's go ahead and extend our legs out. Reach our arms up, and we're just going to go into a nice little flexion. Just take a nice little stretch here. So from here, we're not crunching the shoulders in. Think about bending from that waist and reaching towards our feet rather than crunching our shoulders in. So you want to bend from the waist and reach towards those feet. Just take a nice little flexion here. Take a deep breath and exhale. Good, and then when you're ready, let's just go ahead and do a roll down. So we're just going to slightly come down, find our C curve in our stomach, so really hollowing out that stomach. Arms can come up, and we're just going to roll down real slowly until our back meets that mat. And I'm just going to scoot down some more in frame here. Good, from here, we're just going to do some roll-ups. So let's bring our arms overhead, reaching our legs out long, and we're just going to follow and lead with our arms. So our arms come up over our shoulders. So hand and shoulders come in line first, then we tuck our chin, and then we come on up, using our core, using our abs to roll us up all the way, reaching towards our feet, and then slowly rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Articulating that spine as we roll down. Head comes down, arms come up and back. So let's lead with our arms again. So arms come up first, right over our shoulders. Then we bring our head up, tucking the chin, and we're gonna roll up using our core. So roll us up really slowly, and we're gonna reach towards our feet again. See if you can really reach towards those toes, lengthening through that spine. And then slowly rolling down again, finding that C curve. And hands come back overhead. Let's do that one more time. Hands come up overhead. Bring our head, neck and shoulder up, drop that chin, and then slowly roll on up using that core. Same thing, reaching towards those toes, really pulling, pushing through those arms, and then slowly rolling on down. And hands come up overhead. Good job, guys. From here, we're gonna come into a nice hundreds. So, let's go ahead and bring our legs to tabletop. So you wanna make sure your knees are right over your hips. You're gonna reach your arms out long. So, we're gonna reach them out. Fingers are facing towards our toes, and your arms are hovering over that mat if they're not laying there. So really put a lot of energy in those arms. Let's bring our head, neck, and shoulder up. So really protecting and taking that tension off the shoulders, really lifting up towards your core, looking at your knees. And this is good for you. Stay here. You can keep your legs bent. If you want that challenge, extend the legs out and start pumping those arms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Halfway there. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Grab your knees, roll up into a ball a little bit further, and then go ahead and put everything down and shake it off. Good job, guys. From here, we're going to go into a little ab circuit. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and find our head, neck, and shoulders lifting up, bringing our legs to tabletop. Find that imprint of the spine. So remember, let's come back down. So as we lie down, we have that neutral spine, which is the natural curve of our spine. You'll have like a little grape-sized gap between your low back and that mat. So that's your neutral spine. When we do core work to keep anything off, keep these exercises out of our back, we want to go into a little imprint. So it's a posterior pelvic tilt. So think about bringing your hip bones up towards your belly button. So you'll see that little shift. You want to feel that shift. And when you feel that shift, you'll feel your back meet that mat, and then we know we're in imprint. So now we'll keep all these exercises in our core and not in our back. Good. With that said, let's bring our legs to tabletop, find that imprint, head, neck, and shoulders up, and let's go into single leg stretch. So I'm going to extend my right leg out and bringing my left leg in towards my chest. My hand goes to the outside of my knee, ankle, and my other hand goes right into my knee. And then I'm going to switch. Switch. So remember, keep this in the core. If you're feeling it too much, raise your legs higher. That will help you out, keep it a little bit easier. And now let's just do a little pull back on those knees as we bring them in. So just like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good, let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. From here, we're going to go into double leg stretch right there. We're going to extend legs and arms out from opposite directions. Circle those arms around and grabbing our knees, grabbing our shins or ankles. So stay in that ball. We're going to shoot everything out. Find that vacuum boat and then circle the arms around. So we're shooting the arms and legs out. Opposite direction. Really strong core here. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Just hug your knees. Take a quick little breather. And when you're ready, we're going to go right into scissor kicks. So I'm going to extend my left leg out and bring my right leg straight up towards that ceiling. I'm still in flexion. If this is too much for you, you can drop your head and shoulders. And I'm just going to switch. Really reaching long through those legs, pointing the toes. Feeling the low abs working here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one here, guys. Let's extend everything out and bring our hands back behind our head. And we're just going to do straight leg lower and lift. Bring them up to the ceiling and back down. Almost there. Keep breathing. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab those knees and just shake it off. Good job. Take a quick little breather here. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll on up. Good. So now we're going to come back into our side plank. So we gave our wrists a little bit of a break, and now we're going to come back into that side plank. So I'll give you 2 options here to modify this for this next series. You can keep your bottom leg down and extending that right leg so you'll have the support of keeping your knee onto that mat. So I'll give you the modified version here. So if you're going to keep your knee down, you're going to come into a nice little side plank like this. So you'll see from head to toe, I'm in a nice side plank, slight bend in my elbow and my knees down. And if you're with me and you want that challenge, we're going to go ahead and extend both legs out. So I'm going to bring my top leg in front and my bottom leg behind. And from here, I'm going to reach my arm up and we're going to go nice into thread and needle. So I'm going to push back and reach towards that back ankle and then look at my hand. So I'm just lifting up through this left side again. For 3, 2, and last one. I'm going to reach a hand up and I'm just going to pulse it up. 5, really lifting up on this left side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Whew, good job. And then let's go ahead. We're going to take it right into that other side. So same thing here, guys. If you're modifying, you're going to keep that right knee down. And you're just going to press up, keeping that knee down, hand up, and you're just rotating through that side. So if you're modifying, you're just going to bring that hand right underneath that resting arm and back up. But really think about lifting up through that oblique, making like a little rainbow, really feeling that oblique working hard. And if you're with me and you want that challenge, let's go ahead, bring that top foot in front. Our bottom leg comes behind. Make sure your hand's right under your shoulder. Bringing that top hand up. And then from here, you're gonna push back, reaching towards that back heel and up. Letting my head follow my hand. And I'm really lifting up on this right oblique. Good. Stay strong, keep breathing. Let's go for 4. Try to keep a slight bend in this resting arm. 3, 2, and last one, stay there, just pulse those hips up, lifting up on that right side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Great job, guys. I'm just trying to make sure I'm staying on track. Good. So let's roll out those wrists. Opposite direction. And then let's go ahead and take a nice little mermaid stretch. So this will help kind of bring that heart rate down, open up the sides of our bodies. Nice little cool down here. So I have my left leg in front of me and my right leg out towards that right side. So I like to call it like a cheerleader pose or senior portrait, whatever you prefer. And if this is too much for you and your hips don't allow this, you can just go crisscross applesauce, whatever works for you. But from here, let's go ahead and reach our right hand up overhead. Take an inhale here. And then exhale as you flex over towards that left side, opening that right side of the body. Inhale up and exhale down. Good, let's do that one more time and then we're gonna go into a side twist. So it's inhale, reaching that arm up straight towards the ceiling. And then exhale as you reach and flex over toward that left side. Think about pulling those shoulders back. And then inhale up and then exhale down. Good. We're gonna go into that push and pull. So I'm gonna twist towards my left side, and that's my bent knee. I'm gonna place my right hand onto my thigh, and that's my pull. So I'm gonna pull back onto my leg, and I'm placing my left hand down, and I'm gonna press into this left hand. So I'm really getting that nice spinal rotation here, and I'm looking back towards my left shoulder, and I'm really pulling back. And inhale, and exhale. Go a little deeper. And then let's slowly rotate out of that. So take that slow. Good. Let's go ahead and just switch sides. So same thing here. Now I'm just switching my legs. If you have your legs in the mermaid position. So my left leg is out facing towards that left side, and my right leg's right in front of me facing towards that camera. Placing my right hand down. And I'm going to take an inhale, reaching my left arm up towards that ceiling. Take an inhale here. And then exhale as you flex over towards that right side, opening that left side of the body. Should feel good after all that oblique and core workout. Pull the shoulders back, inhale back up to the ceiling, and exhale down. Go ahead, let's do that one more time. Inhale up towards the ceiling, and exhale, flexing over towards that right side. Pull the shoulders back, engage that core. Inhale back up, and exhale down. Good. And now let's go into that twist, push and pull. So now my left hand is going to go right onto my thigh pretty much. And then my right hand comes right down by the side of me. And I'm going to pull back on my left leg. I'm going to push into my right hand as I look back towards my right shoulder. Really allowing this twist through that spine, engaging that core. Take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, see if you can twist a little bit further. And then let's slowly come on out of that. So nice and slow, nothing too fast. Good, guys. Then you can just kind of roll out your shoulders and your neck. If you need a little bit more stretch, don't forget to check out my 15-minute full body stretch. You can do that before or after this class. It's a great warm-up or cool-down exercise that I created for you guys. But that's it. I hope you really enjoyed this about 30 minutes arms and abs workout. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can look forward to a brand new mat Pilates class every Tuesday and Thursday. And in between, I will do reformer classes. So hope you enjoyed this, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you again. Thanks. Bye.